You do when you get into a car accident and want to know your rights? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
And be positive. Hello and welcome from Lithia and Driveway Fields in Medford, Oregon. Here at Gary Wheeler Field. And welcome to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with all of the sponsors that make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy, along with Mark McLemore on the camera, Colton Treadway. We're coming to you from Gary Wheeler Field at Lithia and Driveway Community Park in Medford, Oregon. We thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore pregame show powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon and featuring the 2021 runner-up South Umpqua Lancers versus the 2021 Spring 3A champions, the Cascade Christian Challengers. We're pleased to bring you this game on TableRockSports.net in partnership with the Grace Cascade Christian School District and our sponsor business partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for this event. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help Table Rock Sports by subscribing to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, search Table Rock Sports and click on the red subscribe button, and thank you if we already have. Joined here by Mark McLemore, and we have been counting the days down, I think about since the end of August, to this night of the season, and what a lot of excitement it's going to be tonight. A pair of powerhouses in the Oregon 3A going at it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Jim. I'm very excited for this game. As we, have talked about some of the games preceding up to this, that it's just not the same feel for it so far. Okay, and this one though is going to be a game. Finally, the challengers are going to play a team that's at the same caliber, the same level that they are, I think, and it's going to be an interesting night tonight because. It was senior night. That's one of the reasons we came on a little bit late. They were doing the senior night activities, and you saw the Challenger seniors, and that they're wanting to make a statement tonight. They really are against a really good South Umpqua team. And if you look at the rankings, both of these teams come in with exactly the same ranking points because obviously they played exactly the same teams over the course of league. They have not played either one of them a non-league game. So since they played the exact same group of teams and they have 8-0 records, both of them, they come in ranked exactly the same. So that's going to be an interesting thing tonight. I'm curious to see how these two teams line up. According to the OSAA, they line right up. Let's see how they do on the field.
Absolutely. Well, what we'll go ahead and do right now is we will take opportunity to hear Coach Gutman's thoughts, and we'll go ahead and go right directly to that. And that's coming up right here on the Bills Glass Coach's Corner.
Welcome to the Bills Glass Coach's Corner. I'm John Heimbuck with Cascade Christian coach John Getman. Your team is off a big victory over St. Mary's. What stood out to you as key to the win?
I think, first of all, the kids' energy. You watch defensively, they got to the ball, a lot of guys to the ball, so great defensive energy. And then, there are kids that made plays, Brody Sample, Cameron Ragu, Tristan Wallace, Cole Shields, Drew. So you had a number of just great individual players who made a number of plays. But, yeah, playing hard and playing fast was important for us.
Yeah, speaking of individual players, Tristan Wallace returned to action last week, and so did Cameron Ragu. How is your team looking in terms of injuries and illness?
Well, fingers crossed we'll have everyone available tonight. Still have Brennan will be in a big club, and Matthew Moses could potentially play. So it'd be the first time all year that we've had all our kids. So that would be a great thing to have heading into playoffs.
Okay, we're going to have to go ahead and cut that one short as it's right now time to get this game underway. The challengers will be kicking it away to the South Umpqua Lancers. They will receive the kickoff, and we'll get this game underway. Back deep to receive, it will be Real, and it also looks like we've got Estridge back there to receive with him. Kicking off for the challengers will be Mason Hoffman. Glad to be here with you, and we'll get this party started. Short kick by Hoffman. It'll be taken up the right sidelines, and South Umpqua with good field position to open the contest.
Yeah, good coverage, though, by the challengers, not letting the returner get too much on the return, but they'll start at the 33, will South Umpqua Lancers. And here's going to be the matchup of the night, I think, the Cascade Christian defense against this South Umpqua offense.
So it'll be first down and 10. Johnson at quarterback. Very accurate quarterback, longtime starter. He's going to throw out in the left flat. He finds his man Simpson, and he'll pick up 8 yards on the reception, and that'll bring up a second down and short.
Well, and I guarantee you that's what they're going to do, is they're going to try to throw the ball short to avoid the rush of the challenger defense. And a nice play to start the game for South Umpqua as they come back to the line of scrimmage here. Johnson in the shotgun. Trips to the right.
Second down. Bowling his way forward, and with the run is Logan. And that'll bring up a fresh set of downs for South Umpqua on their opening drive of the game.
Yeah, first down for South Umpqua there. After that 8-yard completion on first down to the tight end, able to get about a 3-yard run there on second and short to pick up the first down.
Johnson out of the shotgun formation. He'll have trips to the right. He'll drop back, look the throw quickly, overthrows his man. Trying to come in and pick it away is Peyton Maurer. Taking a look at the starting lineup for the South Umpqua offense, it will be, we'll get the away offense on here. Let's go ahead and clear that away for a moment. Saw the defense there. But now it'll be second down and 10 on the incompletion. Johnson with Logan in the backfield. Had a little bit of company there. Has it on his hip pocket. And looking for Loudon. Loudon Cole.
Yeah, should have caught that ball. Had him in the flat. Would have been a pretty decent game, I think. If he would have caught the football. Unfortunately, he doesn't for the Lancers. Fortunately for the Challengers, he didn't catch that because he got just outside the linebacker. And you can see what South Umpqua wants to do. They want to get rid of the ball quickly and have Johnson throw those short check routes. And we'll see how that works out for him in the long run here.
3rd down and 10, wide open. Making the catch there is Isaac Real. And it'll be a first down for the Lancers.
Yep, another first down for the Lancers as they are moving the ball right down the field. Just picked up 11 yards on the play to get another first down for South Umpqua. And again, another short crossing route in the middle against that Challenger defense, and nobody picking up those crossing routes for Cascade Christian.
1st and 10. Receivers move right. We have a single wide out to the left. Going in motion is Loudon Cole. They'll hand the ball now to Logan. Logan, big gain on first down. That'll bring up a 2nd down and short.
Yeah, nice 9-yard gain on first down, and that's the kind of stuff you don't want to give up if you're the Challengers. And so far, the Challenger defense a little bit back on his heels. First time we've really seen that this season as the Lancer offense doing a good job of moving the football.
2nd down and 1. Lancers at the 37 of the Challengers. Going in motion is Simpson. He'll line up tight to the right side. Snap. Johnson getting some pressure from Turi. Throws that high and wide.
Just threw that one away. That's really what he did there.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And taking a look at that starting lineup for the Lancers, at quarterback, Jace Johnson. Joining him in the backfield, Jacob Logan. Wideouts, Isaac Real, Isaac Simpson, Loudon Cole, and Aiden Williams. The offensive line, Alex Easy, along with Connor Lucier, Hayden Howard, Tanner Dovek, and Timothy Furch.
And so far, the Lancers moving the football quite at will against that Challenger defense.
Going in motion, Real to the right. They'll go ahead and hand the ball to Logan. Challengers try to wrap him up. He
is short a couple of yards of the first down. I think he actually lost a yard on that one. And it's going to bring up a 4th down for South Umpqua.
So real quickly, the Challenger defense for you, Liam Bonatti along with Daniel Naring and Jackson Turi up front. Linebackers, Ashton Moody, Tristan Wallace, Brody Sample, and Cole Shields. The secondary, it'll be Hall and Almacy at the corners. The safeties, Peyton Maurer and Cameron Ragu. So it'll bring up a 4th and 2. Lancers, really to the surprise of no one, going to go for it here.
Well, they're on the Challenger side of the field inside the 40. Most every coach in high school is going to go for it in this situation.
Johnson, Turi trying to close in on him. Catch made, though, athletic play.
Yep.
By the Lancer receiver. That's Aiden Williams making the catch.
Another 7 yards, but a first down for South Umpqua, the 3rd of the game, as they move the ball down the field against the Challengers.
Well, we know that the Lancers have not seen a team quite like the Challengers, but by the same token, the Challengers have not seen a team quite like the Lancers.
That's true. Both teams have not seen many quality teams because they both played the exact same group of teams and have not seen a lot of quality in those teams they played.
Logan runs through a nice hole provided by that offensive line. He'll get across the 25-yard line down to, looks like he'll get about to the 23.
Yeah, 7-yard gain. Nice gain on first down. And so far, again, South Umpqua doing a great job of taking care of the football and making, pretty darn good gains on first down. And that's what you want to do if you're going to stay ahead of the sticks.
2nd down and 4. Johnson, joined by Logan. He'll drop back, look the throw, looking left, looking downfield, and really not seeing anything there.
He just unloads it.
Wisely throws it away. Looked like he was kind of looking in the direction maybe of Loudon Cole, but the coverage good by the challengers.
Yeah, and they're not getting a ton of pressure on Johnson. I would imagine here on 3rd and 4, challengers might attempt something a little different. Let's see what they do here. See if they can put a little pressure on Johnson.
3rd and 4 for the Lancers, 7:15 to go. It's been the Lancers holding on to the ball here throughout the duration of the first quarter. Now taking off and running with it. That is Johnson. And
it's going to be a yard short, it looks like, of the first down. So 4th down and 1. So the second 4th down opportunity for the Challenger defense to make a play.
So big play here for both squads. Opening series of the ball game.
And you've already seen the Lancers not afraid to go for it on 4th down. And I would not be surprised to see a sneak here. But nope, he's going to back into the shotgun. Never was a big fan of shotgun on 4th and short, but that's what they're doing.
They'll go ahead and put it in the belly of Logan. And he'll pick up a first down for South Umpqua.
He gets about 5 yards and picks up a first down.
So the Lancers, great success here on their opening drive of the ball game.
Yeah, really been set up by their plays on first down. Almost every first down play they've had so far in the game has been for more than 5 yards, setting them up in short yardage situations for the rest of the game.
Johnson dropping back, looking to throw, has a man wide open. And forward momentum should give him enough for the first down.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Aiden Williams with his second reception of the ball game.
And he gets about 12 yards and another first down, and now it's 1st and goal for the Lancers.
They're down to the 18-yard line. Well, they're down past the 18-yard line now to 8.
8-yard line.
So a 1st and goal for the Lancers.
The Lancers doing a good job also of just running plays. This is their 16th play of the drive.
And Real with it right now.
And he gets in
then
for
he
the
gets
touchdown.
in for the touchdown. South Umpqua. So just like that, South Umpqua marches down the field and goes on the board first.
Yeah, and just like that is correct.
Just like they drew it up in the boardroom.
And a nice opening drive by the Lancers to take the ball down the field. 68 yards for the touchdown. Now looks like they're going to go for 2.
Johnson dropping back, looking to throw, and it's tipped away. Nice play by Drew Hall.
Very nice play by Drew Hall.
So the newcomer, sophomore transfer from South Medford, steps in front of it, breaks it up, but the Lancers get on the board first. We'll go ahead and get this, take a quick break.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Cascade Christian find themselves in a position they haven't often been in throughout this season. They're down in the ball game by a score of 6-0. Jace Johnson tossing it to Real for the touchdown. He'll get set to kick it away. Taking it is senior Bodie Sample. He's out across the 35-yard line. And a nice return for the Challengers. Gives Keith Reed something good to work with here in terms of field position for the Challengers' opening drive.
Nice return by Sample, sets the Challengers up with good field position. And now it's time for the Challenger offense to answer that touchdown by the Lancers.
Challengers at their own 36-yard line. We'll introduce the starting offense for the Challengers after this snap. Cameron Ragu on first down. Big play by Logan. And it brings up a 2nd and long. Challenger offense, Keith Reed and Cameron Ragu in the backfield. The receivers, Bodie Sample, Peyton Maurer, Tyler Almacy, and Christopher Freilich. The offensive line, Jack Nips, Zach Cook, Daniel Nearing, Liam Benatti, and Jackson Turi. That'll bring up a 2nd down. Loss of about 3 on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 13. Almacy in motion. Reed, quick drop throw. Pitch and catch to Maurer. Maurer makes the catch, but Eastridge there to make the drop. And we'll take a look at the starting defense for the Lancers. Up front will be Furch, Alex Heasey, Tanner Dobeck, linebackers Simpson, Sino Huey, Jacob Logan, David Logan, then Aiden Williams, Casey Beneful, Isaac Real, and Bryce Eastridge. Challengers with the ball and diving forward, picking up first down yardage. That is Brady Sample. And it'll pick up a fresh set of downs for the Challengers as they try to come up with an answer here after the successful first drive by the Lancers.
Yeah, nice running play that time by the Challengers after losing yardage on their first running play. Good blocking on the outside and a nice first down for the Cascade Christian Challengers.
Challengers at their own 47. Reed fumbles it, but there is Ragu. Ragu spins out of traffic and works it across midfield. Gain of about 4 on the play on what could have been a busted play for the Challengers.
Yeah, Keith didn't look like he was quite ready to catch that football when it was snapped.
So the Challengers right now at about midfield. 3:04 left to go in the first quarter of play. Going in motion, Tyler Almacy to the left side. Reed looking left. And he's looking downfield, looking long. He's got Maurer back there. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Challengers.
50 yards on the pass from Keith Reed to Maurer. And there's a nice momentum turner if you're the Challenger fans.
So let's go ahead and show the replay on that. Reed stepping back, and you can tell, I mean, it would have been tempting for him to take off and run. He had a lot of space on that side, but he's still thinking about that big throw. Home run ball to Maurer, and the Challengers knotted up. In for the point after attempt, Mason Hoffman. The kick is up, and it is good for Hoffman. That's his 42nd successful point after attempt on the season, and the Challengers lead 7-6. We'll catch our breath here real quick. We'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Back here at Gary Wheeler Field, Challengers kicking it away. A little bit deeper kick this time to Real. He'll scamper up the sidelines. Great running room, great speed by the Lancer return man.
And you can tell that was a planned return, and the Challengers, whoever's supposed to have the outside edge over there, did not have it. And Real able to pick up big yardage all the way into the Challenger territory on that return of about 25 yards, and that's a big opportunity now for the Lancers to take such good field position and do what they did last time, which is push it down the field and toward the touchdown. So far, a quick game here. 2:36 to go in the first quarter, and the Challengers lead it 7-6. But there's been no defense so far. Both teams have scored on their opening opportunities.
Jace Johnson looking to the sideline. Logan in the backfield with him on first down to Logan, but this time penetration by the Challenger defensive line.
Tristan Wallace, I think, in the backfield. Or Liam Bonatti, excuse me.
So Challengers, that time, and up until that play, the Lancers have been eating their lunch.
Yeah, nice job by Bonatti of getting some penetration. And let's see what the Challengers do here after getting a little bit fired up, I think, by that long pass to Maurer.
Johnson dropping back, looking to throw, getting pressure right now, and he's dropped in the backfield. Jackson Terry, we've been talking about what a defensive menace he is up front for the Challengers this evening, and it couldn't come at a better time. I see Matt Moses coming off the field, and you Challenger fans know he's been missing for a long time, and it's good to see him back in action.
Absolutely, as he is a load out there to handle when he's on the field.
So now we have a second down and 21. Actually make that 3rd and 21. Throw downfield. And they're in the neighborhood, Cole Shields.
Yeah, Cole Shields definitely got a hand on that football and was able to knock it, just tip it enough so the receiver couldn't catch it. Nice play that time by Shields.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 21. And whereas on the opening drive, the Lancers had easy decisions to make, this one, a decision that's easily made, but one they would rather not have to.
Yes, exactly. After losing about 10 yards.
High snap, but Johnson gets it away. It'll be a relatively short kick. It'll end up down in the vicinity of about the 27-yard line as the Challengers take over offensively.
A nice job by that time by the defense of keeping the pressure on the Lancers, and just a little more energy, it seemed like, from the Challenger defense after that long touchdown strike by Cascade Christian.
Challengers get on the board with the long pass play from Keith Reed to Peyton Maurer. I don't know, you probably got the yardage there on that.
50.
It was a long one.
50-yard completion and run, of course. And a nice decision by Keith Reed of sticking with the play and finding Maurer down the field.
1st and 10. Back at the Challenger 27. Ragu in the backfield along with Reed in the shotgun set. I'll go ahead and hand it to the motion man.
I think that's Brody Sample, I believe.
Brody gets it up to just outside the 30-yard line.
Early for no gain on that one.
So that'll bring up a second down and long for Cascade. 46 seconds in what has been a fast-paced first quarter between the Lancers and Challengers. The clash of the Titans that we expected.
Yep. 4 receivers now to this side of the field. I don't think this is a formation we've seen yet this year.
Going in motion, Tyler Almacy. Reed looking left. Pitch and catch. And reception made. And it looks like he should have enough for the first down.
Oh, really close. We'll see where they mark it.
Brody Sample working on making some memories here tonight.
Looked like he got about 9 yards. Not quite enough for that first down.
No, not quite the spot I was expecting, but they didn't ask me.
No, it's a little hard to tell on the sideline where he stepped out from here, too. So 3rd and 1 now for the Challengers. Ragu in the backfield.
So see what they do here. He comes in averaging about 12 yards a carry on the season. But Reed's going to keep it. Reed, good running quarterback, and he picks up a Challenger first down as he gets toward midfield. So that's a guy that you have to account for in the mix of things. Even in limited playing time, Reed coming in basically about 2+ games with 185 yards rushing on the season.
Well, he makes good decision there. He sees that they're basically keen on on Cameron Ragu, and he keeps the football and picks up 11 yards and a first down, and that's going to be the end of a very quick first quarter.
All right. After one quarter, it's the Challengers 7, the Lancers 6. We'll take a quick timeout, and then we will return with more football action here on TableRockSports.net.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love.
Start of the second quarter, Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Colton Treadway. 1st and 10 for the Challengers. Spinning through a tackle is Cameron Ragu. He'll get it across midfield down to the 46. Ragu having to work a little bit harder tonight for those yards than he did in some of the prior contests.
Yeah, but a nice run there. Good run, especially on first down of about 6 yards. Puts the Challengers in second and very short. Well, short for second down. So far ahead of the Sticks on this possession.
Reed with Ragu in the backfield. Almacy in motion. And running it, breaking it to the outside. Tyler Almacy. And the Challengers on the move to open the second quarter.
Yeah, nice job by Almacy. Good blocking out in front of him. And he gets about 8 yards and a first down.
Well, we had to kind of jump right into this, Mark, but that's one of the things I'll be watching for tonight and Coach Getman mentioned it in the interview that you did with John Heimbuck, that seeing who controls that line of scrimmage.
Well, that's always the key in football, isn't it?
And we have a movement along the line.
That's going to be an offsides against the Lancers, and I like that by the Challengers. You got to keep those defensive linemen honest and not let them jump on your snap count.
So that will gain the Challengers 5 yards. It'll bring up now a first down and 5. The ball now spotted at the 32.
Ragu came out of the lineup and Drew Hall in, so the Challengers have 5 receivers in, no running backs.
Reed, empty backfield. Looking left, pass complete to Sample. Sample Has some blocking there. And works it down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, about 7 yards on the play, and a nice gain and a first down for Cascade Christian.
Well, you kind of get the feeling if you watch the Lancers on that first drive playing possession football, it almost looks like the Challengers, if they can, could do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep the opposing offense in check by keeping your own on there.
Exactly, and make that defense work. I don't think looks like a lot of the Lancers are playing both ways, and the longer they have to play defense, the harder it's going to be for them to play offense.
Cameron Ragu. Good job slowing them up by the defense. Simpson there for the Lancers.
He got about 3 yards on the carry.
So now that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Challengers huddling. That's something I haven't seen them do for a while.
Well, you get the feeling that with the way this matchup is set tonight, so much evenness, we'll see a lot of things tonight that we haven't seen before this year.
Well, I think some of it has to do with not wanting to signal plays in, because I've heard in the past at least there's been some questions about signaling.
Keith Reed looking long toward the end zone.
Christian Freilich down there.
Pass falls incomplete, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 7.
I like it, though. I like taking the shot, keeping the defense honest, making them play the whole field.
Challengers with lots of perimeter weapons. We saw Freilich on that pattern, but also you have players like Almacy, Maurer, Hall, Luke Wilson, Brody Sample. 3rd down and 7. Down at the 23 of the Lancers.
And Coach Getman doesn't like what he sees, and he calls a timeout.
Timeout called on the field. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Thanks to our sponsors for powering our live high school athletic streams, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore, Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thanks to our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. Both teams scoring on their opening drives of the ball game. It was Johnson throwing the touchdown strike to Real. And as you can see from the score, not successful on their 2-point conversion. Challengers answered with the touchdown pass, a 50-yarder from Reed to Maurer, and the point after good by Hoffman, and that gives us our 7-6 score. 3rd down and 7. Raku in the backfield. Twin receivers to either side. Luke Wilson. And it'll be Keith Reed. Thought he would be able to sneak it right up the middle.
And a nice play there. Very good play that time by
David Logan.
Logan, thank you for the stop. And only gained a couple of yards.
So Challengers in that 4-down territory, they'll go ahead and make a move. Ball at the 21.
4th and about 4 for the Cascade Christian.
Reed looks right, has time, getting some pressure now. Reed getting away from trouble. He's going to go ahead and tuck it under and go, and he should have enough, it looks like, from here to get up a Challenger first down.
Yeah, it looked like he needed about 4, and he got about 6. So the Challengers get the first down.
Well, again, in sizing up the Challenger quarterbacks over the years, we remember what a running weapon Keegan Shawn was as a signal caller. I don't know that when we first saw Keith Reed that he would have been the first guy I would have thought of to be a guy who could take off and run, but he has proven that time and again in his year and a half as a starter.
Yeah, and he makes good reads as to whether he should keep it or he should hand it off in that zone read.
1st and 10 for the Challengers at the 14 of South Umpqua. On 1st down, Ragu. Good pursuit on the edge by the Lancers, and he's not going to get a whole lot out of that.
As a matter of fact, that's no gain. And you can see that the Lancers are really crowding the line of scrimmage, and I think the Challengers are going to have to throw the ball down the field a little bit as they continue to put multiple guys in the box against the Challenger defense, kind of daring, or against Challenger offense, I should say, kind of daring them to throw the football.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Challengers at the 14 of the Lancers.
And there's clearly man coverage on the receivers.
Reed looking left, man coming, and he'll be taken down.
Big sack that time by
Tanner Dobeck.
And Reed loses about 10 yards on that play.
So that's going to put the ball back at the 25-yard line. I don't know if I have enough fingers to count that high.
3rd down and about 20. 2 down territory if you're the Challenger, so you just want to get a good chunk of it here and, live to play another play. Again, single coverage out here on the 2 receivers to the Challenger right.
So they'll throw downfield. Just
Nice
what the
catch.
doctor ordered.
And they get about 16 yards on that play, although there's a hold.
Challengers, up until this point, been managing to avoid a bit of what we've seen. We especially saw dog them last week against St. Mary's.
And so this one's coming back after the nice throw and catch. It'll back the Challengers up even further here and make it 3rd and a mile.
So a little conversation now ensues between Reed and his coach, John Getman.
And I think that the Challengers will be looking at some sort of a screen here.
3rd down and the 38. Ball at the 43 of South Umpqua. Reed dropping back, getting some pressure. And once again, pass rush. Challengers having problems along that offensive line tonight.
Yeah, well, there's some big guys on that South Umpqua front, and they've done a great job of keeping the pressure on Keith Reed.
So that'll bring up 4th down. And the Challengers get set to kick it away. Coming in is the young man who started the season at quarterback for the Challengers, Ashton Moody. He'll come in to kick it away.
Yeah, and he can kick it. Ashton's got a good leg. And I think this is definitely the right move here at 4th and 38.
He'll run out, kick it, gets away, a nice kick. Real calling for the fair catch down at the 16-yard line. So the Lancers hold up the Challengers, and they get the ball back with 6:35 left to go in what has been a very quick first half.
And a very tight first half as it's 7-6. And this will be the only the third offensive possession now for the Lancers. Each team had it twice prior to this. And so far, you're correct, and it has been a very quick game. 6:35 here to go in the half, and 7-6 the score.
And only in terms of real time, only 37 minutes have gone by. 1st and 10, Johnson at quarterback. Dropping back, looking to throw, has some pressure. Has a man open, though. Well played. And making the catch is Loudon Cole. And he picks up a big chunk of yardage to move the sticks for South Umpqua.
Yeah, a nice throw and catch. Easy throw, really, for Johnson. Cole sneaking out of the backfield, picks up 20 and a first down.
Challengers throwing a lot of pressure there, and Cole able to get out in the open. Gets the catch and lets his feet do the rest.
Well, it appears that the Challengers really don't have as a great play there in the middle by Moses.
Matthew, Go ahead.
Stopping that one. The Challengers, as I was trying to say, Jim, they don't seem to have an answer for the back coming out of the backfield so far. He's been open on several different occasions in the passing game.
Well, and it seems like just, watching some of the video from the St. Mary's game is that they like that quarterback to running back combination out of the backfield. And now Johnson, they're going to give the Lancers a little taste of their own medicine as they bring on the pass rush for the sack. Sample and Bonatti there. Sample, the team leader in sacks from his linebacker spot. That'll be his 4th of the season. So a 3rd down and long for the Lancers. Call it a 3rd down and 19.
And a nice job that time by the Challengers of putting pressure on Johnson.
Ball spotted now at the Lancers' own 28-yard line. Johnson dropping back, looking to throw. A little too much mustard on the fastball as it goes through the hands of Isaac Simpson, his tight end.
Well, and that's unfortunate because Simpson would still be running probably if he catches that football. Challenger's not accounting for him, and they've got to do a better job of accounting for the tight ends and backs because they really have dodged a couple of bullets with guys that were open not catching the football.
So now Johnson will step back, get ready to kick it away. Back deep for the Challengers will be Sample along with Tyler Almacy. Ball goes over his head and into the end zone. Johnson just barely gets it away. And
what a good result for them after that.
Oh, boy. Johnson doing a great job showing poise in that situation to get the kick away. Whew. Make sure a visit to Tap Rock Northwest Bar and Grill on the banks of the Rogue River is included in your next trip to Grants Pass. First-class food and a new menu awaits you. The gem of the Thomason Hospitality Group, Tap Rock. Oh, man, what a game this has been so far. Has it ups and downs.
Certainly has, and that was one of them right there. Is I don't know how Johnson got that punt away, but somehow it doesn't get blocked. It gets away, and then it rolls like 30 yards just to benefit South Umpqua and the Challengers with the football back. Actually, almost where they had it a few minutes ago when they punted it because of all those lost sacks and penalties.
Keith Reed clapping his hands together. And he's going to show the pass to Maurer. What a great play-action fake. He makes the catch and picks up a big Challenger first down.
Yeah, 20 yards on the pass and catch. And what a great little screen pass set up that time by the Challengers. Got to love that play.
That'll put the Challengers into South Umpqua territory. That brings it down to the 36-yard line of the Lancers. 4:14 left to go in the half, and the Challengers leading by just 1.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty defensive game so far, and it's been a quick game, as you mentioned. Both teams getting up to the line of scrimmage, running plays, and the clock, and just a little bit of a battle between the 30s so far.
On first down, Reed finds himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the nowhere to go land.
And Dobek there to drop him. And that'll bring up about a 2nd down, and we'll call it about 13.
Yeah, the Challengers have had trouble running the ball. Well, you can see in the box right now, there's 9 guys. You're going to have to throw the football.
Pass complete. And there's where that height comes in handy. And that was
Drew Hall, excuse me, out there.
And so the Challengers now find themselves in a 3rd down and about, we'll call it 4 to go, maybe 3. .252 to go in the half. Shields in the ball game. Kind of throwing out a different look there.
And coach doesn't like it again, so he calls timeout.
Timeout on the field, and that will give us time to recognize our sponsors. Stick around. We've got more football coming your way here on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one. Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
Back at Gary Wheeler Field on third down. Challengers go to the ground game.
And they're going to be a little bit short. I think that's Ragu. Or Cole. Actually, that looked like Tristan Wallace actually on the carry.
Wallace out for several weeks with an ankle injury. Just returned to action last week. And since his return, we've seen a lot more of him at his linebacker spot than we have in the Challenger backfield. But now a 4th down and 1. And rumbling ahead with enough progress for the first down.
Keith Reed.
So Keith, we see him get it done with his arm, and now he's getting it done with his legs here. As the Challengers love nothing more to try to gain at least a little bit of separation here before the end of the half.
Well, it'd really be nice because they get the football back, remember, to start the second half.
Reed with Ragu in the backfield behind him. Trip receivers to the right. Reed hands it to Ragu. Ragu's got running room. He's across the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Challengers.
At 25 yards and some great blocking that time for Ragu. 24 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. Challengers get some separation. You called for it, Jim. The next play, they got it.
Look out, Tony Romo.
There you go.
I don't think so. Oh, man. But, yeah, it just exactly what the Challengers were looking for and needed right there. And now they're up 13-6. And the kick by Hoffman on the money. And with 1:35 left to go in the half, we'll go ahead and keep it right here. I want to go ahead and let folks see that replay on that spectacular run by Ragu. But Ragu showing some of these fans that haven't seen him before a little bit of what he can do with his quickness. He cuts it out to the outside, has some good blocking, and waltzes it right in for Ragu. That is his 13th rushing touchdown of the season to make it a 14-6 ball game.
Yeah, some nice blocking that time, and one of the few times that the Challengers did spread the field out, and South Umpqua sort of played two safeties that time, which is not something they've been playing a lot, and the Challengers took advantage of it with the run game.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends from Pinnacle 365. Download the Peak Rewards app to earn free fountain drinks and coffee. And it is feeling very much like the fall night that it is, Mark.
Yeah, you got that right. Wind's starting to pick up just a little bit, getting a little cooler out here.
Nice high deep kick by the Challengers. Real on the return. He's been spectacular in that respect tonight. And he'll get it out to the 28-yard line, which 127 with this high-powered Lancer offense. The Challenger defense needs to have its head up here.
Well, and it's really important for the Challengers to keep the Lancers from putting points on the board here before half, because as I mentioned, the Challengers get the ball back to start the third quarter, and it'd be nice to have this 8-point separation when they do get the ball back.
The Challengers come out defensively, and Matt Moses back in the lineup tonight. Big 320-pound nose tackle, does a great job of occupying blockers and opening up opportunities. And that linebacker core, Mark, I'd put up against anybody.
Well, especially when you have Moses and those guys, those big guys in front of him. They can flow to the football a lot easier.
Johnson wasting no time in getting the ball out there. Nice pitch and catch. Good reception made there. But the Challengers doing exactly, Drew Hall there on the stop from his corner position, and actually Drew, a sophomore, transferred from South Medford, didn't even play football last year, and he came in here about mid-season, and he's been something else.
Well, he's a very athletic kid.
There again, pass complete from Johnson to Cole.
No.
And I'll tell you one thing about this Johnson kid that really impresses me is his accuracy.
Yeah, he can throw it, and especially those short throws as they hustle back up to the line of scrimmage. The Challengers don't look like they necessarily know what they're doing, so let's hope they get lined up correctly.
Ball downfield, and it's picked off. Challengers with the interception. Drew Hall with his third interception of the season.
Nice job by Hall of seeing the receiver down the field, stepping right in front of him and picking it off for the Challengers and giving them another look here with 30 seconds to go. Only problem is, remember, the Challengers used 2 of their timeouts earlier in this half, so they're down to their last timeout. So be important for them if they're going to try and get some points on the board here to make sure they get, remember the clock stops if you get a first down, so you want to throw the ball down past 10 yards in order to get those first downs and keep the clock from getting away from you.
Well, for those watching around the state aren't so familiar with the Challengers defensively, they've been ball hawks all season long. The big high differential in terms of giveaway, takeaway this season. Reed, first down, looking long for Hall. Hall just out of his outstretched hands.
Good try, though.
No, it was a good-looking play, and, you know, that's the type of thing, if you complete it, it can really break a defense's back.
Yeah, that was really close to being a touchdown for the Challengers.
But as it is, it'll stop the clock now with 24 seconds left to go in the half. Challengers at the 28-yard line. And Ragu and Reed in the backfield. Trips to the right. Quick throw to Sample. Sample, good blocking there. He's down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown Challengers.
Yeah, nice job by Sample of just turning on the Jets. 28 yards for the touchdown, and the Challengers getting some separation now.
Let's go ahead and show that for you. What a play. Reed stepping back. Nice little play action fake there. Sample makes the catch. Gets the blocking that he needs, and it just teamwork. It all just works right together.
Mason Hoffman in for the extra point attempt.
20-6 ball game. Hoffman attempting the point after. The kick is up, end over end, right down Broadway. It's good. So with 16 seconds left to go in the half, Challengers up 15. Donnell Scott scoreboard, 21-6 Challengers. We'll be right back after these messages.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4.
Mason Hoffman getting ready to kick it away. Benefiel. And he'll fall on it. The Lancers will get it at their look like about their own 26-yard line. And now things looking a little different than they did just moments ago. So Cascade Christian now with a 15-point lead. And the Challengers on the defense at their own 25-yard line.
14 seconds to go, so if you're Cascade Christian, drop back and don't let it keep everything in front of you.
Blair Logan with the carry. And a flag on the play. A little extracurricular activity. Sometimes in an emotional game like this, things will boil over a little bit.
And that one's, I think, going to be on the Challengers. A 15-yard personal foul penalty, I think, is not something you want to do at the end of a half either.
And that's the kind of stuff you want to make sure you keep out of this ball game. The last thing you need to do is fire the other squad up and give them more reasons to mow you over. Let your play do the talking and keep the woofing out of it.
Exactly. We don't need it. When the whistle blows, stop playing. That's really the key to that, Jim.
Yep.
So that one's going to cost the Challengers 15 and really put South Umpqua into a place that they could throw a Hail Mary if they wanted to. I think Johnson's got the arm to head it down, chuck it, although they started the clock, and that's going to be the halftime right there. Not sure why they started a clock after a penalty, but nonetheless.
It has a bizarre ending to what has been an eventful first half. Not necessarily the way you like to see a half of football end, but the Challengers up at halftime by a score of 21-6. We'll take a quick timeout, and then when we return, we'll bring you the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report. And that will follow these messages on TableRockSports.net.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Pit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
Now for our first senior, McKenna Dunn.
Where do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one. Only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Back at Gary Wheeler Field here at Lithia Driveway Community Park in Medford. The Cascade Christian Challengers leading the contest 21-6. Reviewing the scoring from the first half, the Lancers get on the board. They eat up over half a quarter on their opening drive of the ball game. And it was Jace Johnson firing an 8-yard touchdown pass to Real. The 2-point conversion attempt, no good. And South Umpqua ended up taking the 6-0 lead. Then later in the quarter, Challengers on their first possession get a big play from Keith Reed to Peyton Maurer. 50-yard touchdown pass. You can see Reed dropping back, rolling out to his right. Had a lot of room downfield, was patient though. Waited for Maurer to get open, and he ran it home for the touchdown. The Challengers, with the successful extra point attempt by Hoffman, make it a 7-6 ball game. Then, in the second quarter, the Challengers put Cameron Ragu to work. Challengers, success in the running game throughout the season. Ragu busts open, turns on the jets, and he runs it in for a 24-yard touchdown run. And Hoffman successful on the extra point attempt to make it a 14-6 ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one final round of applause for the
And finally, Challengers put one more on the board to end the half. And that was Hoffman there on the extra point attempt for the Challengers' second touchdown of the half.
You may now return to your seat.
But the Challengers would strike one more time. Let's go ahead and stop this here. Technology is a great thing when it works. We'll let this one pass us by. But you get a good look at Hoffman and strides he's made as a kicker. Now, here we go. Challengers up 14-6. This time Keith Reed going to Brody Sample. Sample, good blocking there on the edge. He takes it to the house on the 28-yard reception. And that gives you your halftime score. At halftime, it's the Challengers 21 and the Lancers 6. We'll be back following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
It's downright chilly.
Yes, it is.
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
New phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
The Medford Parks and Rec Department invites you to discover all the great classes, field trips, activities, and sports leagues for the fall activities coming up. Visit playmedford.com and find something for everyone in the family. Here with a look at the halftime stats, here's Mark McLemore.
Yeah, nice half for the Challengers. Started off a little slow with that first drive by South Umpqua as they took the ball right down the field, where they got most of their scoring done against the Challengers for that 6 points on that first drive. They had 6 first downs in the first half, 4 of those 6 first downs coming on that first drive. Rushing yards, they carried the ball 10 times for just 6 yards. Several sacks involved in that as well. And Johnson passing the football, 8 completions, 8 for 15 for 74 yards. So just 80 yards in offense from South Umpqua in the first quarter, and most of that 80 coming on that very first drive. The Challenger defense doing a decent job after that. And Johnson also had the 1 interception that turned into points late for the Cascade Christian Challengers. South Umpqua did have 50 yards in returns off of kickoffs and punts. So total offense for the Lancers, 130 yards. Penalties, South Umpqua just 1 penalty for 5 yards. So a nice job by them avoiding the penalties. And that 1 turnover really, sort of allowed the Challengers to get the separation they have here at half, 21-6. For the Challengers in the first half, they had 9 first downs, running the football, 17 carries for 52 yards, well shy of their average that they've been so far this season. Passing, though, Keith Reed, very efficient, 7 for 9 for 129 yards. Return yards, 15 for the Challengers. Total offense for Cascade Christian in the first half, 196 yards. They had 2 penalties for 25 yards. So the Challengers basically 180 yards to 80 yards, outgaining the Lancers in the first half. So a nice job by Cascade Christian of sort of weathering the initial storm and then playing much better, I thought, in the second quarter.
Well, one of the important things that you mentioned is they'll have the ball first to open up the second half and opportunity to perhaps get that lead extended. But you know that with that much football left to play, that there's a lot that can happen, and this South Umpqua team can strike quickly. Johnson, one of the best, if not perhaps the best, quarterback in the Oregon 3A, and he's got weapons all around him. So, this one is really far from over. What will be important for the Lancers is to get a stop. A game like this, though, you figure that there's a good possibility that things like penalties and turnovers can end up playing a factor, and there was that interception picked up by Drew Hall that factored big into the Challengers' first half.
Yeah, it really did, and I think that really gave them the separation they were looking for. And now the Challengers, remember, get the ball to start the second half. And, boy, if they could get another score here with that first possession, would really start to put the pressure on the Lancers. So we'll see how the beginning of this second half goes. But, what we've seen from the Challenger defense typically in these games so far is they played better in the second half than they did in the first half, and really stepped up the aggressiveness in the second half. And most teams, it's been very rare that the Challengers have been scored on in the second half.
For sure. By the same token, it'll be interesting to see what the Challengers do counter what the Lancers have been able to do defensively in terms of really playing in tight, sealing off that middle, and it's always interesting, especially in a game like football that can be such a chess match, to see what kind of adjustments are made at halftime and then see how that plays out then in the second half. Yeah,
I guarantee you both teams are going to make some adjustments. It'll be interesting to see how that works for both teams, and I think the important part for the Cascade Christian Challengers is they got the separation here in the first half. They want to make sure they keep it going through the second half. They worked hard to get it, can't give it away, and you're right when you say that the Lancers can make big plays, because they certainly can, and it'll be important for Cascade Christian to really, weather the storm like they did in the first half, continue to play hard and continue to play physical, because football, at the end of the day, the game is won at the line of scrimmage.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Well, regardless of tonight's outcome, you know that both of these teams should be looking at making some nice, deep playoff runs, and it'll be fun to see what the second half of football brings us. The halftime report is brought to you by PlayMedford.com, where you can learn about Discovery Preschool for 3-year-olds and day camps for older kids. Registration for fall is happening now. Sign up at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400 to get started. We'll take a quick timeout, then we'll get ready for the second half right after this.
New phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Fanatics down there for South Umpqua, at least.
Getting their fans fired up for the second half. Yeah, we're getting ready for the start of the second half, and our apologies. We had a little bit of technical trouble with the audio on my mic, and hopefully what we've done, if we got this all figured out now, don't want to be blasting in your ear, but sometimes these things happen. But we're ready for a second half of football, and we're great. It's great to be here along with you, and by far, Mark, probably one of the most thrilling football games that we have seen so far. But with 24 minutes of football left to go, we know there's plenty more where that came from.
Well, certainly the best game and the best team that Challengers have seen so far this year, by far, this South Umpqua team. Much more of a physical, bigger, very well coached, very organized team that we saw in the first half. We haven't seen the quality of a football team that they've brought to this game so far this season. The Challengers have not seen that.
Well, I think that was always one of the questions coming into this ball game. Now that we're definitely on a much more different level of football than what we've seen prior to this ball game, how would the players react to that? Would they be able to get quick off the ball and be able to react to mentioning the physicality of the Lancers?
Yeah, and really was hard to tell how good these two teams were because of the lack of competition in the rest of the conference. I mean, these two teams are clearly better than by a lot than anybody else in the conference. And when you play the same teams, as you saw in the rankings, very interesting to look at the rankings if you did. Both teams with the exact same ranking, the exact same number of points. Well, yeah, because they played the exact same teams.
Right.
So, and remember, the OSA rankings don't account for how badly you beat somebody, just that you beat them. What your record is, what their record was is at this current time, all that plays into the rankings. And so the rankings, because they've played the same exact teams, they have the same exact ranking. But it was really hard to tell with both of these teams, how good are you? Because there's obviously a big drop between these two teams, and St. Mary's, I think, is in third right now. Big drop, big difference between these two teams and the rest of the league.
Well, you take a look at the 3A rankings right now. Kennedy at number 1. They come into this evening with an 8-0 record. Then Cascade Christian, South Umpqua, identical points, identical ranking. I don't know if I've ever seen a tie in the points, but it makes sense.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, because they both play the same teams.
Right.
Because usually there's preseason games. You play different teams, so the points would be different. But there hasn't been any preseason games in this league this year.
It has definitely, I think, made things challenging for these top two programs in the conference because ordinarily, well, we know from 14 years of covering the Challengers that you put people like a Santiam Christian on your schedule, or a Scio if you can get them on your schedule.
Or Rainier. We played Rainier in the past in the preseason.
Right.
You know, you put some of those better teams on your schedule because you want to get challenged before league starts. Well, there's no opportunity to do that this year with the amount of league games the Challengers have being 9. So you only get to play 9 games before the playoffs, and you're playing everybody in your league. And so, therefore, that's all you get. And so when we come to this game with both teams being 8-0, both teams playing the exact same 8 teams, they're going to be tied in the rankings. I'm just glad to see that the rankings have accounted for, that they're tied at number 2 and not at number 12 or something like that.
Right.
So it's good to see that, the winner of this game obviously will be one of the top 4 ranked teams in the 3A. The loser of this game, where are they going to end up? And I think that's the big question, that we'll see after the game. Are they going to drop a lot? Are they going to drop a little? But you want to be in the top 4, because if you're in the top 4 in the state, you get to have 2 home games and the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So important for the Challengers to take care of business here in the second half and secure those 2 home games. As you said, when we've done the 14 years of Cascade Christian, there's been some games on the road, usually in the second round of the playoffs, that we've had to go to places that are not fun to go to.
Oh, no. Some very exotic locations and different time zones, if you get my drift.
Yeah, like Nissa and others. Or Rainier, where you go into Washington before you come back to their school.
Well, covering the volleyball match between Cascade Christian and Nissa, to imagine in Nissa's case, where you just get in, you got to go up against Cascade Christian. You take that long bus ride to, get swept, and then, you're back on another long bus road home.
Yeah, and we've done that in football before. So
yeah,
it's important to take care of your business here if they're the Challengers, secure that top 4 seed, and really set yourself up for the playoffs.
Mason Johnson, freshman, getting ready to kick it away, wearing number 55. And, of course, you always have to think about that onside and pooch kick possibility. Macy taking it there. He'll run it up to about the 40-yard line, wrapping him up for the Lancers is Landon Bauer. So Challengers will come out.
Real good field position on their own 40. And let's see what kind of energy they come out with here. Well, the other thing, it's a cold night. We talked about it after halftime. Hopefully you're getting those juices flowing with that little warm-up they went through, because it's cool out here, and that first hit is going to be important to have that energy that you need.
Absolutely. First down and 10 for Reed with Ragu in the backfield. Trip receivers to the right. First down, Ragu falls forward there. Slowing him up is Josiah Sinahui.
And he gets about 3 yards on first down. And the Challengers off to business here in the third quarter.
And suddenly we've got a breeze kicking up.
Well, and you can see the guys in the box again. We've talked about it all game. South Umpqua crowding the line of scrimmage. And the Challengers, and this has been one of my personal pet peeves about this offense, they really have no plays that run a receiver in behind the linebackers. I'd love to see them have that.
Challengers, reception made by Sample, but big league hit there by Bryce Eastridge. Nothing really doing on that play.
Nope, no gain. Nice play by the Lancers there to come up around the block. So 3rd and long now for the Challengers. One of the first times in the game they've been in 3rd and long. Again, you can see the Lancers crowding the line of scrimmage.
Well, they'll go ahead and go to the ground game. Macy there, but
no gain by Macy. I don't really like the call there. I think, again, you have to throw the football in that situation when they've got that many guys in the box.
So the Challengers will be looking to kick it away. And so that first series not producing that additional separation.
Yeah, I felt like the Challengers got a little bit conservative in their play calling right there. And maybe that's just because, first few plays of the second half. But, you just because you have the lead doesn't mean you want to get conservative.
Ashton Moody, left footer, kicks it away. Rail's going to let that go. And a good play by the coverage unit for the Challengers.
That's Christian Freilich down there, I think. Christopher Freilich.
Yeah.
Christopher. Man, I knew I'd do that at least one time this season, right?
Well, yeah. Well, now a couple more and you'll be caught up with me.
Okay, there we go.
No, Christopher. I'm sure Christian, though, down in Arizona at Grand Canyon, loving the shout out.
So they start on the 3-yard line. So a nice punt. And the Challenger defense back at work after the 3 and out.
So now Johnson, Logan, Williams, Simpson, Cole, and that offensive line come out. Deep in their own territory, Johnson looking to make a play there.
Picked off.
There it's picked off by Tyler Almacy. So for the Challengers, they pick up their second turnover of the ball game and a short field for Cascade Christian.
Well, the punt's looking a lot better now, doesn't it? After the immediate interception that now gives the Challengers the football back in great field position at the Lancer 24.
So we'll see now if they follow your advice, Mark, and see about maybe getting something going here in the passing game.
Yeah, well, if the Lancers continue to load the box, they're going to have to do that. This time they're a little more spread out.
And now we got Tristan Wallace checking into the backfield, senior running back who missed substantial playing time with an ankle injury. Reed looking to throw, looking for Sample, just a little long.
Had Sample open that time on the little pump and go, but just overthrown. I like the call. Go for the jugular right off the bat. Challengers now in 2nd and 10.
So ball just inside the 20-yard line. Challengers all in the red zone here with 9:36 left to go in the third quarter of play. Leading by 15 at 21-6.
Now the Lancers back in tight again. Ragu with the pitch.
Ragu sheds one tackler and keeps moving. He's to the 5 and gets it
to the 1.
Did he make it?
Nope. He's down to the 1, it looks like. So a 18-yard gain, excuse me.
And the thing about Ragu, smart, because playing that running back position is not just about being fast. It's about working with the blocking that you have, and did a nice job being patient there.
He absolutely made a huge cut right at the line of scrimmage to avoid a tackler. And once he got into the linebackers and defensive backs, was able to sprint to the outside and almost get himself into the end zone.
So 1st and goal at the 1 for Cascade. Reed in at quarterback. Would not be surprised to see the sneak here. Although that Lancer defense might have a thing or two to say about that. You see there, long count.
Keith changing the play.
I'll go ahead and hand to Ragu. Ragu stood up,
but he gets
in.
So the Challengers make a great response. After the initial punt, the turnover turns into points. And we talked about that at the top. You know, the team that makes the fewer turnovers is going to be the team that wins. And right now, the 2 picks by the Challengers have turned into points, and they've been huge.
Mason Hoffman getting ready to attempt the point after out of the hold of Keith Reed. The kick is up. End over end. And it is good. Here in the third quarter, the Challengers on your John L. Scott scoreboard. You see they're up 28-6. We'll be right back after these messages.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Challengers booted away, and this will be taken by the return man, Casey Benefiel. Benefiel with a good return.
Yeah, nice 20-yard return. Gets it out to about the 31-yard line.
So the Lancers get it back.
And now if you're the Challengers defense with this lead, you just want to make sure that you don't let the Lancers have any big downfield plays, right?
Right. Try to get them like that first drive of the ball game where the Lancers ate up about 6 minutes of clock.
Yeah, if they're going to score, make them use 5 or 6 minutes to get themselves down the field.
But I got a feeling that Coach Stebbins, he's got plenty in his playbook to try to get quick points on the board. Down by 22 with 8:30 left to go in the third quarter of play. Logan on first down, runs it up to about the 35-yard line.
He gets about 4 yards on the play.
Second down and 6. Windy here in the second half. Johnson with trip receivers out to his left, the wide side of the field. He looks left, little pitch and catch there, Real there.
And nice job by the Challengers of corralling that for just a couple yards.
Right, he gets the reception there. He does pick up a gain out of it, but doesn't break off anything huge.
And the Challenger defense right there to make the stop after a couple yard gain. Brings up third and about 4.
Ball spotted at the Lancers' 37-yard line. Williams in the slot to the right side. Should say that's Simpson. And then you got Williams out wide. Catch made. And they do like that little combination. Little throws inside to Logan, and he'll pick up the first down.
That time Logan, again, coming out of the backfield, gets 8 yards and a Lancer first down. And they've run that play often, and the Challengers really haven't responded to it very well.
That'll move the ball up to the 44 of South Umpqua.
Well, they do a good job of a route combination by the slot receiver and the far receiver, that wideout receiver, and then they sneak the back in behind him.
Johnson, and it's picked off. The interception, I believe that's Liam Bonatti. Bonatti, upfield he goes.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
But there's flags.
There's flag on the play.
What's the flag for?
And it looked like it came on the return mark just about the time that Bonatti was down to about the 10-yard line.
Well, and I think it might be on the Challenger sideline for being in the way of the referee. Let's see what the call is. Sideline.
Hey, ruling a touchdown for the Challengers.
So, Liam Bonatti.
The most exciting 2 minutes in sports, interception return by Liam Bonatti.
Yeah, nice job by him. And he takes it about 50 yards.
Get that man some oxygen.
Yes, absolutely.
Mason Hoffman getting ready to attempt the point after. Kick is up, end over end, right down Broadway. It's good.
Well, and what do you tell your linemen? If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Liam Bonatti with his hands up, and the ball somehow sticks in him, and he makes a nice running return for the touchdown.
John L. Scott scoreboard, 35-6 Challengers. We'll pause for messages and be right back in 1 minute.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chickens, mouth-watering chicken, and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to
Kick by the Challengers. Benefield with it. He's going to go ahead and try to take it to the outside. Good return. Good play on special teams coverage by the Challengers. And it will bring up a first down and 10. In on that stop has been Mr. Everywhere tonight, Drew Hall.
Yeah, he's been all over the place, hasn't he? He's got a pick, and he's made some tackles.
Well, what was it? He made his debut, wasn't it, in the Phoenix game? So
yeah, he did not start the season playing football and came out later. Well, I mean, I don't know.
He might. I think
he might actually.
He
was there for a few weeks before he actually played. So
now Riel with it, burst of speed out across the 25 to the 27. So good burst of speed by Riel.
Gets him 5 yards on the play.
Ball at the 27. Johnson to Logan. Logan spins out of a would-be tackle. Gets it across the 30-yard line. Up to about the 31, maybe.
Yeah, picks up about 2.
And a man down. Looks like a man down for
it's Logan, I think, actually.
So we'll go ahead and pause for a quick message while they tend to Mr. Logan, and then we'll be right back.
Are you an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
That it's like get it away from there. I usually try to get out and go to break as quickly as possible just to cover it and keep people from.
New phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
Mm-hmm. I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows.
Logan getting up off the field and walking off under his own power.
Third down and about a little bit more than a yard, I think, here. Yard and a half or so for South Umpqua. Clock running. 5:33 to go in the third quarter. Challengers lead at 35-6. And this third quarter has been all Challengers.
5:24 to go in the frame. Jace Johnson, got to see him play a lot of baseball over the summer. And they try to toss the ball. Looked like it came loose.
And who got it? The Challengers got it.
So a fumble for the Lancers. Their 4th turnover of the ball game.
Boy, and that's been the Lancers' bugaboo. They haven't been able to take care of the football.
So Cascade Christian gets it now with the ball spotted at the 35 of South Umpqua. 5:05 to go in the third.
And the score is really not evident of what South Umpqua's done. Unfortunately for them, they have turned the ball over way too many times, and it's been the challengers that have taken advantage of it, and therefore the score on the scoreboard.
Brody Sample split out wide to the left. Reed pumps, throws, has his man Ragu. Ragu falls forward, picks up a couple of yards on the play.
Tried to run that screen pass they ran earlier to Ragu.
They'll get about 1 or 2 out of it. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and long.
Challengers with 130 yards passing and 74 yards rushing so far in this one as we work our way through the third quarter. They've been given a couple of short fields by their defense. And remember, they have a interception return for a touchdown as well.
Well, and that's the thing. They've kind of flipped the script a little bit this evening. Keith Reed there, because that is an example that the Lancers have done a relatively good job of defending the run.
Well, and that's the first time I've seen Keith make a bad read. He really needed to give that ball to Cameron Ragu that time, and he decided to keep it himself for no gain, and that was just a bad read. I mean, it happens. But Ragu looked like he had the edge if he gives him the football.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for Cascade, who will now come out with trips to the left side. All Macy there along with Freilich and Sample. Ragu in the backfield along with the quarterback Reed. Reed, he's going to go ahead and keep it this time. Bursts ahead.
Well,
gets it down to about the 26.
And that's a call that you know that Getman's going to go for it. He decides to run the ball there. And Keith picks up 8 yards and puts him in 4th and very short.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Challengers go for it here. Trip receivers over to the left side.
And you probably got Maurer if you want to throw the ball out to the right. Looks like a nice cushion over there by the corner.
And they'll go ahead and hand it off, but it pops loose, but Reed is there. And he'll go ahead and try to get to the edge.
And he won't get there. It's going to be a turnover on downs by the Challengers.
Crazy play there for the Challengers. And on the night where the Lancers have had their share of bad luck, the Challengers get a little taste of it there.
And ball looked like it got hit right, a helmet right on the football, and it just popped right out of there. And the Lancers take over on downs.
So the Lancers, opportunity here now with 2:44 left to go in the third. They trail by 29 points. Team huddled over by the sideline. You can see them coming in. Loudon Cole, we called his name early a couple of times in this game on that opening drive. Williams on his right hip. Johnson, defense comes calling. And
Tristan
Wallace.
Tristan Wallace just introduced himself to Mr. Johnson, and I don't think he was very happy about that.
And to be fair, I don't think I would be either.
Man, nice hit by Wallace.
So a loss of yardage on the play.
Lost of about 5. That Challenger defense has come to play again. We've talked about it all season, how they have been very, very good on defense this year.
Well, if I think about the difference between this year's matchup and last year's, I think that's the big difference for Cascade. Meanwhile,
Johnson throws that
under
one
pressure.
away.
Believe they're making him hurry up.
Well, he actually had a receiver over on this side of the field, but he didn't he really didn't have any time to take a look around. He had to get rid of that football because the pressure was coming. Challenger's doing a good job of keeping the pressure on Johnson and not really letting him. He had a few opportunities in that first half to kind of set up, stand back there and throw the football. Not so much here in the second half.
Well, and those are the kind of things, no matter how good a quarterback you are, that's going to make a rough evening for you. Johnson rolling out right, pass complete, but Williams can't hold on.
And right there, even if he did catch it, Tyler Almacy there to make sure he didn't get very far. Fourth down now and 5 for the Lancers, or fourth down and 15, excuse me, for the Lancers, and looks like they're going to punt the football.
Well, I forget who puts it out because it seems like everybody and their cousins in the media these days, but somebody had put something out that rated Almacy as one of the best defensive backs in the state.
Well, he's very quick, and he definitely stays with his guys, whoever he's in charge of being, attached to.
They'll punt it away. High kick, kind of short. And
Challengers are going to get great field position at the Lancer 46.
So they'll be in Lancer territory to open this drive.
Ball is down at the Lancer 46-yard line. Challengers take over first and 10.
And Challengers come out, looks like Tristan Wallace
in the backfield. I don't know if we've seen him actually carry. I think he carried the ball once so far. He hasn't carried it a whole lot. I'm not sure that, he's played a lot of defense, but I'm not sure he's, if maybe cutting on that ankle maybe isn't quite, maybe bothers him a bit because I haven't seen him run a whole lot with the football.
And now they'll go ahead and
Reed's going to keep it, but it looks like we got a hold probably based on where that flag is thrown.
Flag on the field, and it is right there at about that line of scrimmage.
And it is going to be holding against the Challengers. So that's going to back them up, I would assume.
So that'll put it just inside Challenger territory. Back at the 46.
And the Challengers have had their troubles actually sustaining their drive so far. There's been a few big plays the Challengers have made for touchdowns, but the sustained drives actually by either team have been few and far between in this game. Both teams' defenses have really looked good.
Reed. Short drop, pass complete, but also a good quick hit there defensively. Isaac Real, who's kind of being the big play guy throughout much of the night for the Lancers, making the quick hit there.
Yeah, just 5-yard gain there for Peyton Maurer. But it's only second down for the Challengers too.
Little bunch formation of receivers to the left. Reed pumps, throws. But there again,
a missed block out there by one of the Challenger receivers. And that was supposed to be a Brody Sample screen, and he really didn't get anything on that one.
That looked maybe more like a screen door on a submarine.
Yeah, I don't think you want that.
No.
No gain on the play. Challengers now 3rd and 13.
So Sample going to come out real quickly, get the license number of that truck that hit him.
Well, and you got Drew Hall out here one-on-one, and the Challenger's going to take a timeout.
Timeout called.
Oh, never mind. It's the end of the third quarter, Jim.
Oh, wow.
I missed that.
Good grief, that happened fast. Well, after 3 quarters of play, it's the Challengers 35 and the South Umpqua Lancers 6. We'll be back after these messages right here on Table Rock Sports.
How do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one, only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive U.S. Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Start of the fourth quarter. And Ashton Moody throws downfield
to Peyton Maurer.
Peyton Maurer. Snuck the number 2 guy, who's actually been the number 1 guy most of the season, in to make a play.
And what's the discussion about here by the referees?
Yeah, that is a good question.
They're going to call a penalty against the Challengers. I think for illegal substitution is what I'm guessing here. Yep, illegal substitution against the Challengers. The reason I saw that is the guy coming off the field late ineligible man downfield. Okay, never mind. Thought that was illegal substitution, but anyway, Challengers nonetheless have run their one play that they really probably practiced all week, and unfortunately it gets called back for the 5-yard penalty.
So now Luke Wilson in the ball game, slot receiver to the left side. 4 receivers set with a 3rd down and long. Wallace in the backfield. Reed looking to throw, and unable to hang on is Drew Hall.
And it's going to be 4th down.
So 4th down, and suffice it to say, an obvious kicking situation here as Ashton Moody comes out.
Well, especially with the lead like the Challengers have.
And the Challenger defense has been equal to the task this evening. High snap. Moody gets it away, kind of a short kick, some pressure there by...
Why would you throw a flag and blow the play dead?
Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Illegal substitution. Not too many men on the field, actually, is what it is. You could see one of the linemen running off the field for South Umpqua, so the 5-yard penalty.
So Moody will get to do it again.
Yeah, I've just never seen that penalty blown dead prior to the punt, or the punt blown dead in the middle of the kick, if you know what I mean. So
right now, kind of a short high kick, and Real called for a fair catch, and then now the Lancers will go ahead and take over here. 11:22 left to go in the ball game.
Challengers lead 35-6, and the wind picking up again.
Yes, it is. Well, you know, it seems like fall in Southern Oregon lasts about a week. We go from summer, about a week of what you would think of as autumn weather, and then this.
Yes, right into the coldness.
Oh, it's funny working at Cascade. They have 7 international students from Thailand. Last weekend they were like, "Oh, it's getting cold." But it's like, "No, you haven't seen anything yet." Pass complete by Johnson. Real there, trying to spin away from Hall. Real with his quickness on display there.
Yep. Nice little play that time. Challengers brought the blitz. Johnson able to get rid of the ball to Real. and he picks up 13 yards and a first down.
Well, you can see with some of these moments of brilliance by the Lancers that this team has all the ingredients in place to have a really good playoff run at them. Johnson, single setback, and he'll go ahead and hand it to running back into the ball game is Josiah St. Huey. And nice pickup there on first down.
I think they're going to give him a first down, it looks like to me. One of their
looks
best,
like we got the
one of their best running plays of the day.
There they go. Now they got the sticks moved.
Clock running, 10:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Challengers with the nice lead, and they're just satisfied with letting the clock run and playing a little defense here and not giving up any big plays.
Ball at the Lancers 48. St. Huey gets across midfield into Challenger territory.
And again, the Challengers playing coverage, and they'll gladly let South Umpqua run the football if that's what they want to do for 5 yards at a time, as they did there. Let them run for the 5 yards, rally to the football, let the clock run. Down under 10 minutes now to go.
Johnson dropping back, completes the pass to Simpson. Kind of that wide receiver, tight end. What do you call in fantasy football? The flex position.
Yes, exactly.
First and 10 down to the 42 of Cascade Christian. St. Huey.
He's a big guy.
Breaks off another nice run.
Says he's only 5'8", but he looks a lot taller than that to me.
Yeah.
I'd say he's not 5'8".
He plays bigger than his height.
Well, he's not. I don't think he's 5'8".
No.
He's almost as tall as Johnson, and Johnson is listed at 6'2". So, you know, you figured out.
Johnson, pressure coming. He'll end up throwing it out of bounds. Bearing down on him, Jackson Turi.
Yeah. And he just threw that one away just to avoid the sack.
Yeah. In the face of oncoming traffic.
And again, the Challengers doing exactly what they need to do here. Third down now for South Umpqua. Clock running, 8:22 to go in the football game.
Johnson hands it off St. Huey. And a tackle made by the Challengers, Drew Hall, but not before. Number 9 picks up a first down for the Lancers.
Luke Wilson comes out and Ragu in for the Challengers.
Both these teams with depth unlike anything that we've seen throughout much of the season. You can see it on South Umpqua's side as well. Johnson.
Nice job that time by the Challengers. Much better coverage on the back, out of the backfield. And it looks like Briley Richardson in there. On the coverage, maybe?
And now we got
a few different guys coming into the game.
Yeah, with a big mitt on his left hand, Brendan Van Moort, who was the leading tackler on the team at the time he went down with a broken hand. Now he's got a contraption on his hand looking like he's ready to go bake cookies. But glad to see him back in the lineup.
Well, and he makes a hit immediately.
Yeah. Well, he's just one of those guys, a veritable tackling machine.
Denuri carries the ball forward. Third down for the Lancers.
Third down. Yeah, about 6 for the Lancers. 7:05 left to go in the ball game. Johnson getting his backfield squared away. Swing a little pass out to Real. Real gets away from one challenger defender. Isaac Real with the catch. There to stop him is Brody Sample.
He only gained a couple of yards on the play, which brings up 4th down.
Yeah, you got to figure at this point, though, they'll go ahead and go for it here on 4th down.
Oh, absolutely.
Not much needing doing otherwise. Saw something on social media the other day say, who's the best kicker in the Oregon 3A? And they said, the ghost of Ethan Hoffman.
There you go.
No offense to the guys who kick currently, but they're
incomplete. And the Challengers will take it over on downs.
6:09 left to go in the ball game. Challengers get it back. And
Christopher Freilich in.
Challengers take over at their own 24-yard line.
Well, he'll be in there along with Drew Hall. Ragu on the backfield. Little pitch play. Ragu to the edge. But again, been pretty good pursuit all night by the Lancers. And we see once again Tanner Dobeck, 6'3", 230 pounds, and he makes that frame move pretty good.
Yeah, they have some athletic defensive linemen, that's for sure.
They'll give him one on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 9. Empty backfield. Trips to the left. Reed looking long, looking for Wilson, and they're picking it off for the Lancers. And it's Isaac Real.
And not a good decision that time by Keith Reed, as probably should have just thrown that one out of bounds and saved to play another play. But he throws the interception, and South Umpqua takes over.
So for the Challengers, just the 3rd interception that they've thrown all year between Ashton Moody and Keith Reed. So the Lancers get it back.
Well, part of that was the wind, too. Tried to throw that one into the wind. Wind kind of going from east to west, I guess you would say. Anyway, throwing that football right into the wind. And you could see it kind of duck. It kind of turned into a dying duck there at the end and got picked.
1st and 10 now for the Lancers at their own 43. 5:20 left to go in the ball game. Real and Sanui.
He's doing a good job running the football.
As he come on for Logan.
Picks up about 7 yards on that carry.
Nice piece of running by the Lancers. 4:58 left to go.
The Lancers don't seem to be in a hurry to run plays.
And now coming out to a slot to the left side is Loudon Cole. On his left is Real. Sanui.
First time he hasn't gained 3 or 4 yards that time. A nice job by the Challenger interior line of keeping him to a gain of 1.
There on the bottom of that pile is a man whose presence you definitely feel if he's on you, and that's Matt Moses.
And Liam Bonatti in there as well.
They got some beef up there along their front. You know they're big when their skinny guy is Turi at 215.
Yeah, exactly. And the linebackers, too, know how to bring a punch.
Yes, they do. 3rd down and 2. Sanui, he picks up first down yardage and a little bit more as he gets it down past the 45.
Yeah. Clock running. Challengers lead 35-6. 3:51 to go here in the ball game. Another first down picked up by South Umpqua.
Well, you know, one of the things that had to stick in the mind of the Challengers is the loss that they suffered at the hands of the Lancers last year on homecoming night back in late October. And, well, you know, here's the thing. If you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. And certainly by leaps and bounds, the Lancers, the best team that they've seen all year.
Yeah, and the Challengers took advantage of some turnovers by the Lancers that really enabled.
Oh, Real almost hauled it in.
To make score points on short fields and interception returns for touchdowns. And this game is really, I mean, the score is not as super indicative of how the game or the talent of the two teams, I guess I would say.
Right. Well, for the Challengers, this will be the closest game that they've played all year. And were it not for turnovers, probably that margin would be, I would say, probably more like maybe about a 10-point game.
Yeah. So Johnson, again, no one in the area, just kind of unloads that. Brings up 3rd and 10 now for the Lancers. Again, the Challenger defense, though, has been very good. They haven't really allowed many big plays by the Lancers, have made them work their way down the field and you know, haven't given up a ton of yards really in this football game.
Johnson looking long.
And there's Tyler Almacy jumping in front and knocking that pass away. You mentioned it earlier, his ability to make those plays. And that was a well-thrown ball by Johnson, and if he doesn't make that play, it's probably caught for a big gain.
Benefiel, the intended receiver. That'll bring up a 4th down and 10 now. Johnson dropping back, looking long once again now to Real. Doesn't quite get there, and the Lancers will turn it over on downs.
Lancers turn the ball over on downs. Cascade takes over at their own 45-yard line.
And the Challengers now simply with 2:56 to go can run the clock out here. Probably need 1 first down to actually do it completely.
So Reed in there along with Cameron Ragu, 3 receivers off to the right side. Lone man out left. And that definitely not something they wanted.
Terrible snap that time. Unusual from Danny Neary. Well, one of very few snaps we've seen this year that have been bad.
Probably, I would say, maybe about the 3rd, 4th at the most. So, yeah, that's something that you ordinarily see. And so, Val, that'll bring up 2nd down and 28. Challengers now back at their own 27-yard line. 2:23 left to go in the ball game.
And the one thing you have to give their Lancers credit for is the Challengers have only run for 65 yards in this football game.
Wow.
So, you know, after that big loss, of course, but still.
They've been held in check tonight.
Yeah, the one big Ragu run has kind of been the exception.
Cameron Ragu gets a few of those yards back. Checking in for South Umpqua, Elijah Earls. So 3rd down and 23.
And clock running 1:32. And Challengers can just run the football and punt it here. It's probably the smart thing to do. Let's see what they do.
Reed gets the snap. Throws it to Hall. Hall gets it out across about the 35-yard line. Picks up maybe close to about 5 yards or so. That'll bring up fourth down.
That brings up fourth down.
Punt the football here if you're the challengers. They're not going to punt the football? Oh, maybe Keith's going to punt the football, I think. Looks like.
So challengers making wholesale substitutions. See Luke Ryder coming in along with Bryson Jackson. 39 seconds left to go. Nice kick by Reed. Braille calling for the fair catch. And a flag on the play. That'll go against Derek Farmer.
Well, it shouldn't. That fair catch signal was extremely late. I mean, what are you're supposed to wait for the fair catch like 2 seconds before the guy gets there? I don't like that call.
No.
I mean, and he did try to avoid the. As
Right.
soon as he saw the hand go up, he tries to avoid him.
It wasn't like he wanted to go in.
He didn't go smash him.
No. Right.
I just that's not. I don't agree with that call. I can see where they could throw the flag, but when you're on the other side of the field from that as the official, and there's an official right here on this side of the field, right in front of it,
Right.
and he doesn't throw his flag, but you from the other side of the field throw your flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
So now that'll put the ball at the 46-yard line of South Umpqua.
So the 15-yard penalty against the challengers. Luckily, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things here.
Yeah.
But I think that's a terrible call by an official who's on the other side of the field when there's an official on this side of the field standing here looking at the play.
Right. So 1st and 10.
South Umpqua will take a knee, and that's it.
That'll wrap up tonight's ball game in a battle of undefeated teams. The Cascade Christian Challengers on this go-around prevail. Your final score is the Cascade Christian Challengers 35 and the South Umpqua Lancers 6. We'll pause for messages and we'll come back in 2 minutes for the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role postgame show. That'll follow these messages on Table Rock Sports.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Here at Gary Wheeler Field, part of Lithia and Driveway Community Park here in Medford. It's the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role postgame show here on TableRockSports.net. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Colton Treadway here on the camera tonight. Starting out, again, this score not really indicative of how this game started. And give you an idea of what could have been. South Umpqua playing ball control on their first series of the ball game, eat up about half of the first quarter. Then a drive culminates with a Jace Johnson 8-yard touchdown pass to Isaac Real. The two-point conversion attempt, no good. Lancers go up 6-0. But the Challengers try right around on their first possession of the ball game, and we see a big play. Keith Reed connecting with Peyton Maurer on a 50-yard touchdown pass. Reed showing good decision-making throughout much of the night. Does a good job here being patient. Lets Maurer get behind the defense for the touchdown strike. And the point after attempt good by Hoffman to make it 7-6. And then we would see Cameron Ragu, who came into tonight's action with 12 rushing touchdowns on the season. And he cuts loose for a 25-yard touchdown run. Ragu starts up the middle, breaks quickly to the left, scampers into the end zone, and gives the Challengers a little bit of separation to make it a 14-6 ball game. Later in the half, Challengers on the move once again. This time, it is Brody Sample connecting with Keith Reed. Reed fakes the handoff to Ragu, throws it to Sample, gets a good block, runs up the sideline for a score, and that ends up giving the Challengers a 21-6 lead that they would take into the halftime locker room. Then in the second half, it would be Ragu scoring with 8:37 to go in the third on a 1-yard touchdown run. And then finally, the capper, Liam Bonatti, the big defensive lineman, scampering or motoring or lumbering into the end zone.
Lumbering is probably a better term.
45-yard interception return for the touchdown. Point after good to give us a 35-6 score. Now here with the final stats for the night, Mark McLemore.
Well, they're a little closer than the score, and I guess it's not really surprising. South Umpqua ends the game with 11 first downs. They ran the ball 22 times for 57 yards. Threw the ball, Johnson did 13 of 31 for 107 yards. So South Umpqua running and passing 164 yards of offense. The bugaboo for them, they had 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, and 2 turnovers on downs. So you add those up and you get 6 total turnovers for the Lancers, and that was really what undid them tonight. They had 70 return yards, total offense for Sutherland of 234 yards. They had 2 penalties for just 10 yards. So a very disciplined team, just really hurt themselves with the turnovers. Between the interceptions, the fumbles, and the turnovers on downs, they struggled moving the football. But you look at their total offense of 164 yards, and now you compare it to the Challengers, who ran for 70 yards, 26 carries for 70 yards, completed 12 of 17 for 140 yards. So Challengers running and passing 210 yards to 164 for South Umpqua. So you look at the stats, and the yardage-wise anyway, they're not that far apart in this football game. But the score, because of those turnovers, the short fields that the Challengers were able to take advantage of, the interception return for a touchdown, the yards are not that far apart, but the score is, and that's really due to that Challenger defense. They forced a lot of those turnovers, forced Johnson into making those throws, able to pick off passes and turn them into touchdowns. So the Challengers really defensively made a lot of plays that really the offense was able to cash in.
Well, what I thought was interesting about the way the game started, because it seemed like the Lancers had pretty good control of the line of scrimmage on that opening drive. But somewhere in there, Challengers dug down deep, and then they turned it on. And that defense that has been so stingy. They had only allowed 34 points coming on the season, 35 coming into the game, and just 6 tonight. So they make a 9-game run, having only given up 41. You'll win a pretty fair number of ball games with that.
You certainly will.
Defense.
And tonight they also generated 6 points of their own on their interception return. So they tied 6-6 what the Lancers did, and they gave the offense a lot of short fields that they were able to capitalize on. So that's the big story of the game tonight. Not so much the Challengers really looking that good on offense or doing that much, but able to do enough with the help of their defense, giving them the football in good positions in order to take the victory.
So the Challengers conclude the regular season on a winning note, and they conclude their regular season at 9-0. South Umpqua 8-1 on the campaign, and both will now be headed for the postseason that will open up next week.
Yeah, and it certainly should give the Challengers, a top four ranking, I would think, beating a number 2 ranked team like they did tonight, and set them up well for the playoffs. So we would expect some home games coming up for Cascade Christian.
Absolutely. Well, we'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. We'd like to thank the Cascade Christian High School Athletic Director Nate Maben for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net and the broadcast. Our special thanks to the head coaches for South Umpqua and Cascade Christian. And make sure you subscribe to TableRockSports.net. Coming up, we'll be bringing you the Challengers in action a week from now. Again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. It is the Cascade Christian Challengers 35, the South Umpqua Lancers 6. This has been a special presentation of Table Rock Sports. Our executive producer is Joe Brett. With Mark McLemore and Colton Treadway, I'm Jim McCoy saying thanks for watching and good night from Lithia and Driveway Fields in Medford, Oregon.